Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the RDF Tactics YouTube channel. Today we have a 4-4-1-1. It was tested with Girona in the Spanish second division. It managed to get over 100 points. We scored over 100 goals. No doubt it's very attacking and no doubt you do not want to miss this. So before we get stuck into the tactic and talk about that a little, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Make sure you like this video as well. Of course, if you like the video, and you can share it as well. That would help this channel out a lot. And also I'm very proud about my partnership with OneFootball once again, so check this out as well. OneFootball and the RDF Tactics channel have chosen to collab once again. Downloading this app would help this channel out in many ways, but why exactly should you download it? The OneFootball app is an excellent app for football fans. It's the best place to check recent news, legally watch matches, yes, for free, and you can follow your team and be notified when something major happens. It's also great to check out the latest transfer rumours, and if you're like me, you don't want to miss out on any rumours. Transfer season can be fun. Once all the league starts up as well, it's a great app to check statistics. This channel creates recreations. Using the OneFootball app helps grab vital stats, but also you will have access to team lineups before the football match starts. This is a great app if you want to follow football around the world or get the latest news just on your team. So make sure you try it out, but it does also help this channel out a lot and gives it many great opportunities to grow. So give it a go and I promise you won't regret it. So like many of the tactics that I have created, the aim and purpose of this tactical idea is to create, attack and score goals. Though the 4-4-1-1 isn't the most adventurous formation, we rely on off the ball movement from players to achieve a sort of 2-2-5-1 formation when we are in possession of the ball. The two central defenders will hold their position whilst the fullbacks will invert inside. This also creates a box-like shape in defence, which is very helpful when we are building out from the back, as we can outnumber the opponents during the first build-up phase. In midfield we have a flat four who are all expected to push up or around the same line as the attacking midfielder, which can be very difficult to defend. At times we could have 5 players operating around the attacking mid area, but we expect one of the midfielders to balance the attacking and defensive responsibilities. So when we are creating chances, as you can see with the screenshot on the screen right now, this is what I kind of based the tactic around. So we have central defenders transition from support options to rest defense, always support the ball carrier, attack with 5, defend with 5 kind of, find and occupy space between the lines, which is why I wanted 5 players around the attacking midfield area, all 5 vertical channels occupied and runs in behind the back line, which you will see with the pressing forward on the attacking duty. Out wide we want some creation of wide triangles, positional rotations to create and occupy space. Also we want some underlaps because we are using inverted wing backs. We won't get overlaps, but we do want underlaps to try and create space and draw out defenders. And then there's the key points when we are building out from the back. We want the centre backs to receive the ball in the 18-yard box, so of course play out from the defence is key. The full backs we want them to be wide, not necessarily high because we are using inverted wing backs, but at the very first stage when we are building up we want our full backs to be wide, and then the pivot player drop in to create a diamond, which would be the central midfielder on the supportive duty. And then from a goal kick situation, the aim is to draw the opponent in to be able to play through. The key in this pattern is individual movements from both central midfielders in support, one through a pivot and the other to position to receive off the second pass, for an example from a centre back to the centre back and then to the central midfielder. This creates a rhombus which can create an overload, either a 4 versus 1 or a 4 versus 3 depending on the opposition setup. And because we are playing with ball playing defenders, a longer pass can be offered by a diagonal pass to the fullbacks, or if absolutely necessary, the centre back can pass it into the channels for a central forward or one of my attacking midfielders. So that's basically the tactical idea. The screenshots that I'm showing you is kind of what I based the tactic around. Now we're going to go into Football Manager, have a look at the tactic, go through the instructions, the player roles before looking at the results. So now let's head over to Football Manager. Though this save is not very interesting, as you can see the database size is on small selected nations. We only got the Spanish League and La Liga 2 and above, but this save will be downloadable for you guys if you want to open up the save and check how I got the results, how I set up training and all that good stuff. But you can also see that the game was saved 6 times. The last time it was saved though was from the very start of the season. I don't know, in pre-season I like to save my games as a kind of checkpoint, but if you have more questions on what I do during pre-season, make sure you ask those questions in the comments. Now let's look at the tactic. So as you can see, it's a 4-4-1-1. Of course it is, the mentality is on attacking, but what we're going to do is go through the team instructions, then the player roles and instructions as well. This tactic doesn't really have many player instructions. That is basically what I went for. I didn't want to design a tactic with lots and lots of player instructions, so we kind of used the bare minimum. For the mentality, we are using the attacking mentality. The attacking width is set to fairly wide. I will pop up my pass combinations from a match as well, and as you can see, majority of the passes and the passes combinations were in those wider areas. For the approach play, we are going to be playing out from the defense. I want that to be from the very start. So from the goalkeeper to the defenders to the midfielders, I want us to be playing out from defense. Of course, a ball playing defender can hit a long ball if necessary, but the main objective is to keep the ball, play shorter passing with an extremely high tempo. In the final third, we are going to be putting in our low crosses, work the ball into the box, and when our players have the ball, especially in those attacking areas, they can run at the defense, encouraging to put our players in more 1v1 situations, as I believe our players can then get the beating of the defender. In transition, when the possession has been lost, we are going to counter press, which is vital, and also what is a very good technique is kind of losing the ball on purpose. Losing the ball on purpose can be your greatest playmaker. So for an example, if our central defender or our central midfielder plays a more direct ball into our shadow striker, if our shadow striker doesn't get the ball or the opponent player picks up the ball, then we have a few players ready to pounce that player in possession. Once that defensive midfielder or whoever wins the ball for the opposition, they will be surrounded by our players trying to win the ball back as soon as possible, of course as soon as we lose the ball. That can then put us in a very good attacking situation. So losing the ball on purpose can be a great playmaker. And when possession has been won, we are then going to make our counter movements. When the goalkeeper is in possession, the only instruction he has is to distribute it to the fullbacks or the central defenders. Out of possession, we are going to be using an offside trap, a much higher line of engagement to try and win the ball back as soon as possible. Of course, we want to be on the ball as much as possible, and our defensive line is set to higher. We are going to attempt to force the opposition on the outside. Our present intensity is set to extremely urgent. We are going to prevent the short goalkeeper distribution, and we are also going to get stuck in. So there's the team instructions. We are now going to move over to the player roles and instructions. Though we are using the offside trap and a high defensive line, I did for my goalkeeper use a goalkeeper on the defensive duty. He is instructed to pass it shorter and take fewer risks, which actually helps with our build-up play as well. When he's in possession, he's going to look to retain possession, and also taking fewer risks helps with retaining that possession. In central defence, we have 2 ball playing defenders. They mainly are going to keep the ball safe and try and circulate the ball, but of course if necessary they can play that longer pass, but also they can break lines, especially if the opponent chooses to press by attempting a more risky pass. For our fullbacks, we are using inverted wing backs, and they are instructed to shoot less, mainly because they get into very good positions, but they will attempt to shoot. If we are attacking and all of our players are in the attacking positions, then the inverted wing back can find some nice spaces around the edge of the box. So we want him to make very good decisions. We don't want him to be shooting more often than we want. In central midfielders, we have a nice balance of a central midfielder on the supportive duty and a central midfielder on the attacking duty. Both central midfielders will have a responsible of providing an industrious and versatile link between the defence and the attack, but of course the one on the supportive duty is going to balance his attacking and defensive responsibilities a little bit better than the central midfielder on the attacking duty. On the flanks, we have defensive wingers. They are instructed to cross from the byline and also shoot less often, similar reasons to why the inverted wing backs has shoot less often as well. They do get into some good positions, and sometimes that can be spoiled by them taking a long shot. But another good thing about a defensive winger is that they try to press the opponent's fullbacks, and often enough the opponent's fullbacks then passes backwards. Of course, we have a pressing forward as well. If that fullback is pressing backwards to say a central defender, we then have a pressing forward also putting pressure on that defender. So we kind of have this constant pressure and constantly trying to get the opposition to play backwards. In attacking midfield, we have a shadow striker, which we all know what a shadow striker attempts to do. He's going to try and be a goal scoring threat by getting forward into the box and of course taking his chances. He's instructed to dribble more, take more risks, get further forward and move into the channel, so you can see by the hard code instructions that he's a very attacking player. And lastly, up top we have a pressing forward, someone that's going to put constant pressure on the opposition's defensive lines. That is going to be their main job, but secondary, they are going to act almost as an advanced forward, in the sense that they are going to move into the channels, chase down any long balls or through passes, but they're also going to close down more, tackle harder and get further forward. But that there is the player roles, the team instructions, everything tactically wrapped up. We are now going to look at the results and see how this team managed to get over 100 points and score over 100 goals. So now let's check the league. So as you can see in the La Liga Smart Bank, Girona won the league, and I think they actually are a pretty decent side in this league. They are predicted to finish 4th, so Girona are predicted to do well, but 109 points is fantastic. We played 42 games, won 35, we drew 4, only losing 3 with a goal difference of plus 86. Those 3 losses came away to Cartenga, away to Castellon and at home to Lugo. In the Copa del Rey, we weren't expected to do very well. Our expectation was to reach the forefront at least, but I like to play a B team in cup games, and then we got knocked out by our Liga rivals, Leganes. So in the La Liga Smart Bank, you can see that we scored 116 goals, which is the most, and we conceded the fewest with 30. We had the most shots for, we had the fewest shots against. For the best pass completion, we came 8th with 86%. For the most possession, or the average possession, we came in 2nd with 56%. For the most tackles won, we came in 7th, which is fairly high with 821. For the most dribbles made, we came in 1st with 143. For the most clean sheets, we came in 2nd with 17. And for the fewest conceded, we topped that list with 30. For the player stats, we have Christian Stuani as the top goal scorer in the league with 29 goals. For the most assists, we have Monchi with 25 assists, and then we have Ade on 12. So the top 2 is our players, and then joint 3rd is Cristoforo with 11. For the most shots, we don't have anyone in the top 2, but we do have Stuani 3rd, Bernardo 4th and Yuampe in 6th. For the most player of the match awards, we have Monchi there 1st with 12 man of the match awards. For the key passes is our player Monchi again with 271. By the way, he played as a shadow striker and a central midfielder on the attack. He kind of varied between the two, as our mainstay attacking midfielder kept getting injured. For the best pass completion, we have Yuampe on 96. By the way, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, and we have Bernardo on 96 as well. For the most tackles won, we have our left back Luna on 128. For the most dribbles made, we don't have one individual there, but as a team we completed a lot of dribbles. For the clean sheets, we have our goalkeeper there in 2nd place, and of course for the fewest conceded, we have our goalkeeper in the top 8 with 28. But as you can see, for the expected goals for as well, Girona finished 1st, but the big gap between 1st and 2nd is absolutely huge. For the expected goals for, we expected 92.94, so we overperformed in that sense, but the team that's 2nd only had an XG of 65.34. Of course, then we created the most clear-cut chances with 39 clear-cut chances created. Now we can look at the team report, the attacking efficiency. We were aggressive and we were clinical. We could have been a little bit more clinical, but we did have a lot of chances. If we were any more clinical, then we would score a lot more goals. But you can see for the general performance, we kind of overperformed the average in almost every area, and we didn't underperform in any area whatsoever. Looking at our defensive efficiency, you can see that we were quiet, but we were leaky. This can be sorted if you drop your defensive line a little, but I didn't want to lose my attacking efficiency and my pressing efficiency as well, which is why I kept my defensive line high and I let things to be leaky. But overall we were quiet as well, so defensively we were kind of sound. How did we score most of our goals though? 74 from play shots, 22 from powerful shots and 26 from headers. Looking at the assists, we got 39 from through balls, 18 from crosses, 14 from short passes and 24 from corners. And as you can see, we started with this 4-4-1-1 in every single game. We did kind of change our formation once or twice with no success as well. As you can see, when we tried to change to a 4-3-3, it didn't go very well. And when we tried to change to a 4-2-4 as well, again, it didn't go very well. And we mostly played against a 4-2-3-1, a 4-3-3 and a 4-1-4-1. Not many teams use 3 at the back in the second league in Spain. But as you can see, this tactic is successful against majority of the opponent's formations. So we are going to look at our squad and the squad stats, see who were the top goal scorers, the most assists in all competitions. As you can see, Christian Stawani with 29 goals in all competitions, Bastos, our backup striker, with 16, Cristoforo on 12, our central midfielder, and then we have Monku on 10 with Samu Says and Bernardo, our centre back. Of course, Bernardo scored a fair few from set pieces. With the assist though, Monku got 25 assists in all competitions, which I think is absolutely crazy. Ade got 12 assists in all competitions and Cristoforo managed to get 11. And for training, what I used is some schedules from Football Manager's Story, I believe they are called, but I will leave a link in the description, and you can see that I used their attacking schedule mainly throughout the whole season. Sometimes I just let the assistant manager do his thing, but then sometimes I did intervene and use my own schedules or Football Manager Story schedule. So when there's one match during the week, we can use this attacking schedule. When there's 2 matches during the week, you can use this attacking schedule. But if you have many matches bunched up, or it gets to the busy period like a December or January and you have 2 matches during the week, then Football Manager Story's easy schedule is a good schedule to use as well. But unfortunately, that wraps up this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you did enjoy it, make sure you like this video. You can share it, as that helps out this channel out a lot. Also, make sure you download that OneFootball app as well. Again, that helps this channel out a lot. Thank you to everyone watching. Thank you for everyone listening. Make sure you guys stay safe. Peace out, and I'll speak to you soon.